Okay, this is concept number 3, which is beginning of the exponent rules. So we have 3 different exponent rules that we're going to cover. The first one is the product property. So this is the first pretest for exponents, covers the product of powers. So if we are multiplying powers, right, that have the same base. Now remember, powers are your exponents. Right? That's just another word for exponents. So if we are multiplying values that have the same base, you can add the exponents. And this is just a shortcut that you can use for figuring this out. You are still ultimately multiplying, but the shortcut is that you can add the exponents. So we have 5 to the 6th power times 5 to the 3rd power. So I'm trying to multiply these two values together. Now the 5 is what is considered the base. Okay? So you can think of it as the bottom of it. Okay? That's called the base. And then this 6 and this 3 are considered our power or our exponent. So we have the same base that we're multiplying together. Since these bases are the same, I'm allowed to actually multiply here. Now what's important to remember is that 5 to the 6th power really means that you have 6 5s. Okay, so you can think of this as 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. There's 6 of them here. 5 to the 3rd power means there's 3 of them. So your exponent is really telling you how many of something that you have. So I have 6 5s right here. I have 3 5s here. So think about how many you have overall. If I have 6 of them and 3 of them, in total, I have 9 of them. That's why the shortcut is that you can add those exponents together. So 5 to the 6th power times 5 to the 3rd is really the same as 5 to the 6 plus 3, which is 5 to the 9th power. So again, your base stays the same. That does not change. Okay? You're not multiplying the bases together. That's going to stay a 5 throughout the problem. A few more examples here. So we have 3 to the 2nd power times 3 to the 7th. So again, I'm multiplying these bases together. They're the same base. So the shortcut is that you can add the exponents. So 3 to the 2 plus 7 is the same as the 3 to the 9th power, which makes sense because if I have 2 of them here, remember your exponent is telling you how many of them you have. So I have 2 3s and I have 7 3s. Overall, in total, I have 9 3s, so it's 3 to the 9th power. Second example. Originally, this is just a plain old 5. Right? We put that exponent of a 1 in there. If you have a value that does not show an exponent, it's really an exponent of a 1. Okay? It's just understood to be there. So you don't have to write it if it's an exponent of a 1, but you have to remember that it's actually a 1 that's there. So 5 to the 1st power times 5 to the 9th power, our base stays the same, so it's still a 5, and I add my exponents together, so I get 5 to the 10th power. Negative 7 to the 2nd power times negative 7 to the 1st power. Again, my bases are the same. They're both a negative 7, so that means I can actually multiply these together. Negative 7 stays my base, and I add my exponent. This is a 2. This is understood to be a 1 because there was no exponent there, so it's a negative 7 to the 3rd power. What's important is that because these had parentheses around them first, you have to make sure your answer matches. This base is the negative 7 with the parentheses, so it has to stay that way in your answer. Fourth example here, we have x to the 2nd power times x to the 6th power times x to the 1st power. Again, all of the bases are the same, so I can multiply them all together. My base stays an x, and I simply add my exponents. So 2 plus 6 plus 1 is 9. So your final answer is x to the 9th. So that's if you are multiplying bases together that are the same. Right? If the bases are the same, you can add the exponents. Now we get into the second property here. We have power of a power. Okay? So that means it's an exponent raised to another exponent. So it's going to look a little bit different than what we started out here. Okay? These I was multiplying the same base together, so I could add the exponents. Now I have one base and I'm raising it to another power. So to find a power of a power, The shortcut here is to multiply the exponents. So our first example, if I have 3 to the 4th power, that whole piece is being raised to the 2nd power. So the shortcut is, again, my base stays the same, it's staying a 3. But my shortcut is when I have a power raised to another power, I can multiply those powers. So it becomes 3 to the 4 times 2, which is 3 to the 8th power. Now, this here at the bottom shows you why we're able to multiply, why we're able to use that shortcut. And it's along the same lines of what I talked about with the beginning examples. 3 to the 4th power raised to the 2nd power. That means I have, again, your exponent is telling you how many of something that you have. So this is telling me I have 2 of these 3 to the 4ths. Okay? Again, your power is really telling you how many of these you have. So I have 2 of these. I have a 3 to the 4th times another 3 to the 4th. So then when you write it this way, now I'm multiplying those bases together so I can use my adding shortcut. I have 4 3's here. I have 4 3's here. So in total I have 8 3's. So it's 3 to the 8th power. Okay, so you can think of it either way, but the shortcut is that you can multiply them. So let's look at a few examples with it. We have 2 to the 5th power raised to the 3rd power. So I have a power raised to another power. Shortcut, keep the same base, multiply those powers. So you're going to get 2 to the 15th. Same thing here. I have a -6 that is squared, but it's also now raised to the 5th power. So my base stays the same, a -6. Keep it in parentheses just like it was, and you multiply your powers. 2 times 5 is 10. X squared raised to the 4th power, base stays the same, so it's an x, then raised to the 8th power because I multiply them together. Now, this last one looks a little bit bigger, but it's still the same concept. This y plus 2, that entire piece, is what's being raised to the 6th power. So this entire y plus 2 in parentheses is our base. That's what's going to stay exactly the same. So it's, again, still a y plus 2, and then I multiply my powers together. 6 times 2 is 12. All right, let's look at the back of this. So we have power of a product property. To find the power of a product, find the power of each factor and multiply. Okay, so this is really the same as what we were just doing on those last examples, but it's a little bit bigger now. Okay, it's not just one base. Now we have multiple bases, but I'm still doing the same concept. And you can kind of think about this as using the distributive property. So if I look at this example, I have x to the 3rd, y to the 2nd. All of that is my base that is being raised to the 4th power. So, same idea. I have powers being raised to another power. So I'm still going to multiply, but now I'm going to have to do it to each of my terms. So this x to the 3rd has to get multiplied, so it's going to be x to the 3 times 4. And I have to multiply this y squared times the 4. So it's just like distributing this 4 to every piece inside of there. So it gives you x to the 12th and then y to the 8th. So you're still multiplying, you just have to do it to each of the terms instead of just to one of them. So let's look at a few examples. We have 24 times 13. That's all going to be considered my base, and it's raised to the 8th power. So this 8 technically gets distributed into each of the powers. I am not doing 24 times 8. I am not doing 13 times 8. These both technically have a power of a 1 next to it. Okay, remember that if you don't see a power, it's really a 1. So this is 24 to the 1st power. So when I multiply those powers, I get 24 to the 8th power. Then 13 to the 1st power. When I multiply, I get 13 to the 8th power. Okay, so make sure that you are only multiplying powers here. Now, this second one, your base is a 9xy. All of that is being raised to the 2nd power. Okay, so this 2 has to get attached to each one of these. So it's going to become 9 to the 2nd power, x to the 2nd power, because remember these all have a power of a 1 with them right now. So when I multiply, it's still going to give me a power of a 2. And then y to the 2nd power. One way of simplifying this that you need to do. 9 to the second power is really 9 squared. So 9 times 9 is 81. Then your x squared, y squared is still attached to it. Here I have -4, z to the third, and all of that is being raised to the second power. So again, you have to think of it as kind of distributing this 2 in. Okay? It has to get attached to each one of these terms. So it's got to get attached to my -4. So I have a -4 squared. And it has to get attached to the z to the third. Well, this z already has a power of it, so I multiply those together to give me a z to the 6th. Now I just have to finish simplifying. -4 squared. Be very careful. -4 times a -4 is a +16. Be very careful with your signs. Now, number 4 looks very similar to number 3, but there is one small difference that is actually going to be a major difference in your answer. This negative is outside of the outside of the parenthesis, so it's not attached to the 4 like it was here. So when I go to distribute this exponent in, that negative is going to stay on the outside. Right? And I'm just going to take a 4 and square it. So 4 squared is a +16. X to the 6th power then when I multiply there. Now this negative actually has to get multiplied times this entire piece, so this answer is a -16x to the 6th. Okay? It's very important whether that negative is included in the squaring process, and in this case it was in number 3 because it was inside of those parentheses. Here the negative is on the outside of the parentheses, so it's not included when I distribute that 2 in when I square each of those. All right, last example in this part. We have 2x to the 4th, y technically to the 1st. You have to remember that there's a 1 there, and then z to the 3rd. That entire base is being raised to the 3rd power. So I attach it to each one of them. 2 to the 3rd power, x becomes to the 12th power because I can multiply those. Y becomes to the 3rd power because again this is a 1 times 3. And then z to the 9th power when I multiply there. One more step in simplifying. 2 to the 3rd power, be very careful with this, it is not 6. 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, remember this exponent is telling you how many of these I have. I have 3 2's that I'm multiplying together. It's going to give me 8. So I have 8x to the 12th, y to the 3rd, z to the 9th. All right, last few examples. Okay, this is combining all of these properties together. So I have 2x to the 3rd, that's being raised to the 2nd power, then times x to the 4th. So I'm going to start here. This 2 has to get attached to each piece. 2 squared becomes a 4. X to the 3rd squared becomes an x to the 6th. Then this x to the 4th is still being multiplied times all of that. So now I use the other property. Because these are being multiplied together and they're the same base, I can add the exponent. So it's going to give me, the 4 is going to stay, and then I'm going to have an x to the 10th power when I add those exponents. Next two examples go through the same thing. I'm going to square this -8, which becomes a +64. This becomes an m to the 8th. Then I'm multiplying it times m to the 3rd. So now again I can add these exponents. It's going to give me a final answer of 64, m to the 11th when I add. Then, very last one, okay, this base is raised to the 4th power. So I have -2 to the 4th power and this x squared to the 4th power. Okay, so -2 to the 4th, x squared to the 4th is really next to the 8th. Then it's being multiplied by this -x to the 7th. -2 to the 4th power means -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. I'm multiplying it times itself 4 times. It's going to give me a -16. Then these bases are technically the same. That negative doesn't change the fact that the base is an x. So I can add my exponents together. 8 plus 7 is going to give me 15. So you have -16x to the 15th power. Again, this is your concept number 3. It is the beginning of exponent rules.